enjoyed the first 2 episodes. What was it about the character of Lindsay that sort of interested you when you first read the script and intrigued you to play her?
Well, what I love about Lindsay is, because at first glance you can think, oh, it's just a funny character. Like, Lindsay could have very easily just been written as like a caricature, like funny kind of ditzy girl. But what I love about Lindsay, and especially like, I can't wait till you see the whole season, like literally, I mean, every episode, the storyline just deepens, and you see a real human being going through something really tragic in her marriage, and just that conflict between like not knowing who you are and wanting to please your parents and compete with your sister and being married for the wrong reasons and just trying to please everyone else except yourself and not really knowing who you are and kind of like at what cost and what crazy things do you do because of that.
Well, even in the first couple of episodes, you can tell that there's this tension between you and your husband. What is it like to work with that actor? Is he
He's so funny. Nice? I mean, before we casted Paul, I'm a producer. I'm like, before we casted Paul. Before Paul was cast, we were all like kind of on the edge of our seat. We kept emailing Steven, like, did you choose a Paul yet? Because it's a very distinct character and it needs to be so specific. And Alan is, I couldn't think of anyone better. He's so sweet in real life. And I mean, his character's sweet too.
Almost seems sad to break his heart.
No, but the other day we were doing a scene together and like he's so funny. I literally had to stare at the ground when he was doing the scene because if I looked at him I just broke character and started laughing. So I'm like, I can't look at you when we do scenes together.
Well, is it fun to play a character who, I mean, you sort of are living vicariously, but in a lot of ways you can act very inappropriately too. Is it fun to be able to play a character who who's beyond normal? Oh yeah, I mean it's so funny the things that I have. I mean I don't know if I don't want to give stuff away, but just like spoilers. But
the things I have done in the past few months are like they're so fun. I mean like I've been attacked by goats. I've like hung off of an aerial yoga rope while fighting with my sister. I mean, I don't want to give stuff away, but Lindsay does some crazy outlandish things, and it's really fun.
Well, in the first episode, you guys have your sister's wedding, which obviously turns into a bit of a fiasco. What was the weirdest thing that ever you saw at a wedding or something like that?
Oh, God. You know, it's so weird. I feel like I only went to weddings when I was really little as a flower girl. I haven't been to a wedding in so long. But I went to a quince, what are they, quinceañera? I went to a quinceañera at Yarrow when I was 15, and my cousin told me I had a mustache, and I was traumatized after that. that was pretty funny.
Well, Edgar and Lucy sort of seem to stick by their best friends no matter what. And you guys obviously have a long history and everything. Do you think that there's ever anything that either you or she could do to sort of push the other one too far, or do you think that you've just been through so much together that you expect these weird things to come?
That's a good question. I feel like that topic is explored in the series. Like, I think what more pushes at the end of the day, we're there for each other no matter what. But I think what does push each other over the edge is when the other person feels judged or abandoned by the other. And I feel like, especially when you're in your mid to late 20s, you go through so many different changes. And, you know, some friends are getting married, some friends are unemployed, some friends are, you know, building their careers, and others are plummeting. So you're going through all these different things, and it's the first time Gretchen and Lindsay are experiencing this period in their lives. So I think it pushes each other's buttons when the other feels misunderstood and judged by the other person.
Does Lindsay sort of look into maybe getting a job as well? That sort of we're hinting around in the first couple of episodes.
We'll find out.
Okay,
in season 2.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, all of the actors here have a really strong theatrical background. How do you think that sort of adds to the whole thing of being on set with people?
Yeah, it's crazy. None of us are from California.
Right, exactly.
I met Aya in 2010
Okay.
because we're both New York actors, and Desmond is also from New York. And New York is such a small acting community.
Right.
I mean, honestly, the majority of my friends I've met at auditions, because we're all just at the same auditions, and you just become friends with them.
Yeah.
So I do think it's interesting, and also Chris being from England, they're, you know, British actors have a very strong theater background as well.
Right.
So I think it helps. I think that's probably one of the reasons we all got cast, because we all had to do chemistry reads together. So I think when you do come from the theater, you're trained to be very in the moment and like not rely on editing, because it's like you have to be fresh and keep it fresh every night. And I think we all have that chemistry with each other where we're able to try things and just be spontaneous and play and, you know, not take ourselves too seriously.
Well, you play such a big part in the show. You get to go out on all these different location shots rather than being stuck in some studio. Does that add to the whole experience?
Absolutely. Like I was just saying, like the other day I did a scene where my character was doing aerial yoga. So like before the scene we did a rehearsal with the yoga instructor, and I mean it's really fun. And also like in the pilot when I'm driving the car, like I was really driving a Cadillac.
Well,
or a Jaguar.
Yeah. Well, as a New Yorker, like you said, the three of you are all from New York. What is life like being here in LA? Do you see yourself
a lot of
here?
driving?
Yes.
A lot of Actually, I did live in LA for 3 years, from 2010 to 2013, and so before I moved out here in 2010, I didn't have a driver's license because I'm from New York and I didn't need one. And I literally, the move happened very quick, and I literally learned how to drive in New York in 1 week.
Wow.
My ex-boyfriend at the time taught me, because he's like, he moved out with me, and he's like, I'm not going to be your chauffeur, like when I get to LA, like you're going to need to drive. I'm like, I agree. So then he taught me in 1 week, and then I got my first speeding ticket the first day I moved here. So that was probably the first adjustment that I had to make. I really like living in LA. Right outside my apartment that I'm staying right now, I have a hiking trail, and I really like driving because I'm still kind of new at it. I like LA lifestyle.
Well, that's good. Well, speaking of LA lifestyle, you were just in Picture Perfect a couple of years ago. What was that like? That was sort of a small picture that sort of exploded and became a big hit. Were you surprised by how well it did?
You know, I wasn't, just because of the talent involved. I mean, and the funny thing with that is, when I first auditioned for Pitch Perfect, I had never really sang in my life. Like, I didn't consider myself a singer, never trained. And when my manager called me and he was like, hey, you have to audition for this movie, you have to prepare the sides and 16 bars of a pop song. And I was like, no, I'm not a singer. And I was intimidated because the audition was for the director, Jason Moore, who's won a Tony for directing Avenue Q. So I'm like, well, he's going to know I'm a fraud. Like, he's going to see right through me. And he's like, well, just act like you could sing. So I show up for the audition, and I don't know why I chose this, but I chose Natural Woman to be my song because I sing that at karaoke. So I'm like, oh, I'll just sing what I sing at karaoke. And when I told my singer friends that, they're like, Kether, that's one of the hardest songs. Why would you choose that? We don't even sing that at auditions. But ignorance was bliss, because I went in like all confident, like I'm gonna do Natural Woman now. And the director was like, it was really good, do it again, and this time really belt it out for me. And I didn't even know what belting was. Like I literally, that's how much of a not singer. So I was like, oh, I love belting. And then I just guess I belted and I got the part. So after I did Pitch Perfect, I actually really started enjoying singing, and I wrote all these songs, and
oh, great. So are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know if anyway, I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. You can edit stuff out, right? Sure. Am I allowed to say I'm singing in the show? Sure. Okay. So anyway, after Pitch Perfect, I started really enjoying singing and taking some vocal lessons. So I sent Steven a song that I wrote, and he liked it. So in one of the episodes, I'm actually singing a song.
Great. Well, does Steven give you sort of a certain amount of leeway with your character? Do you ever talk with him about, I don't think she'd do that, or I think that might be going too far, or did you just sort of stick with
He's the best. I mean, this is the thing. We all trust Stephen.
Okay,
so if something's in the script and he's saying, do this, we trust that he knows it will work. You know what I mean? So he's very open, though, to talking to us about the character and, like, you know, helping us understand certain things that he wrote, but we never... I don't think anyone's ever challenged him or said, like, oh, I wouldn't do this. I mean, everything he writes is very authentic, so.
Okay, and last but not least, who is the worst?
Me.
You are.
In a good way.
All right. Well, thank you.
I think Lindsay wants to be the worst.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing the interview. It was really terrific. I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes and look forward to seeing the rest.
Cool.
Okay.
I can't wait to see the second episode. I've seen the pilot.
Yeah.